Hello everyone, David here. I'm going to do a quick video because I just finished another sketchbook. I feel like this has been happening more often, which is a good thing because I feel like I've got a bunch of sketchbooks laying around that I just never seem to finish. Excuse me. So that means I'm being maybe a little more consistent with my drawing and my sketching. It's good practice. So this one I started back in November of 2019. And I remember I was actually at an art show when I showed this, and I was just kind of noodling around and just kind of seeing what would come with my imagination. And the idea actually when I got this sketchbook was because it's a square format, I was thinking it'd be really suitable for posting on Instagram, which basically has a square format, although you can kind of change the formats a little bit. But anyway, so I'd never really followed through on really taking advantage of the square format, but I think I might do that in the near future. Anyway, so this is just a book that's dedicated to doing to using ink, so pens of all kinds. For these first two, I used a brush pen. A particular kind of Kuretake brush pen that's like really expensive, and I like it, and I don't like it at the same time. But for the most part, I like it. It's a very smooth drawing pen, and all my lettering was done with that same brush pen. And this is just a place for me just having fun too. So just whatever comes to mind, maybe some experiences. For this one, I watched the movie, oh my goodness, El Camino, which was a continuation from Breaking Bad, and so different things I'm watching, different things I'm doing. This was done at Barnes and Noble before the shutdown of society. This is still in November. You always find interesting people at Barnes and Nobles. Different things happening in society. So again, I'm just having fun. This was done, I think this might be brush pen back here, and then like a mechanical type of pen. And I got a mechanical pen set for Christmas, I believe, a few years ago, that I just never really started using. So I've been using those a little bit more. And anyway, so again, just having fun. These pictures are not from anything. They're just kind of things that maybe could be something. This little character could be something for a story or whatever. Kind of going through a sci-fi phase with some of these things. Again, kind of the latest happenings in the news. And when in doubt, for me, I draw old guy faces. I don't know why. I always have since I was a kid. I've always kind of resorted to drawing old man faces, and I think the older I get, the more I'm able to relate, and the more I'm able to make these wrinkles and creases more convincing. And with my text, I often, not my text, but my lettering, my or monologue, I guess you would call that, I often address just different nuances of men's issues, because especially as I get older, I'm much more aware of these men's issues that come up, that are just things that you don't necessarily hear us complain about, but I know a lot of men think of these things. Trying to exaggerate here. Getting a haircut. I'm constantly thinking this was just before the lockdown. Went to a little concert in a restaurant. A lot of fun, where the jazz students in the area were able to partake. I believe they got credit for it in their classes, and those of us in the audience were able to enjoy the music. I like that upright body right there, the posture. I think up to this point, I started running out of ink, so I switched pens to a ballpoint pen, which worked out just fine. Politics. Now I can say this is after the pandemic started getting going here. Yeah. I watched the news so much at the beginning of all that stuff, and then now I don't seem to watch as much. Platitude Pete, my character. Oh gosh, there's people with platitudes that drive me crazy. Sorry, dude. Looks like you had fear, not faith. Man, speaking of platitudes. I go through a thing where every now and then I'll just put tentacles in the background just because, and I don't know why. It just, I think it just amuses me. For those of you who don't know, the Libertarian presidential candidate was Jo Jorgensen, and obviously she didn't win. Didn't think she was, but this was just kind of my take on, what if she had won, and how prepared would she have actually been to be president? Orange Man and Sleepy Joe. Oh, man. Talk about pet peeves for masks. Drives me crazy. I don't know why. I don't know why I let it get to me so much, but just people that don't wear their masks properly. I mean, just don't wear them. If you're not going to wear them properly, just don't wear them. All these are examples that I've seen. This one's the funniest. There was a lady just hanging it off her glasses, and I don't know what she was thinking, but whatever. I like this one. I was on Facebook, and I follow a blues page or whatever it's called, and it's one of those things where it says, here's your blues name. You got to pick this letter of the alphabet, and this letter's for your first name. This is for your middle name. This is for your last name. And so my name ended up being Old Dog Jenkins, which I kind of like. I might make that my musician's name. I don't know. And I'll have to get myself a guitar shovel. Those are my dogs. That's how Ruby thinks of herself. So I'm going to go through these. This was a guy in my dream that I don't know why I was so upset, but I was. Anyway. Who says gift and who says give? I don't know. How did we start saying I gifted somebody something? I usually give someone something, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Anyway. It's just kind of a hodgepodge of ideas, but all in pen. And usually if my sketchbooks seem like they're all over the place, that's because my mind is all over the place. I'm always thinking about different things, either things I'm watching on TV or the news, or things that people say in media. Well, this was taken from an Inktober challenge, I think it was, and I can't remember what it's called now. Moon or Space or something. It was something. I can't remember what it was. This was done, by the way, with a brush pen, and then a black ballpoint pen, and then a red ballpoint pen. And I like how it turned out. I like how it's on the other side too. Lots of old men faces. These are nobody, by the way. They're just people I've made up, and a lot of times when I draw these faces, I try to make them look like they could be somebody you know, or maybe somebody that you've seen. And I have been doing it for a while, and I think I keep getting better at it. I've also gone through a thing where I like to make cyborgs, and I'm not quite sure why I like cyborgs, but I don't know, they're just kind of fun to draw. Old guy face. Brain juice. I like zombies too, by the way. I like drawing zombies. I don't know why, but probably partly because I like human anatomy. But just regular drawing human anatomy is kind of boring to me. And so it's kind of doing something with the human anatomy. This guy's stuck in the 80s, by the way. This was done for a contest I didn't win, but I like how it came out. And I got a lot of positive comments on that. And some ideas that maybe I could make that into a t-shirt. And I was actually thinking that too. And so maybe I will. I don't know. I think I need to maybe doctor it up a little bit, but I could do that digitally. So we'll see. That is a groovy looking guy. I like this, how the ink from here came onto this page and then it just kind of works into the design. Messing with techniques here. I don't know what he's doing with his hand, but it had to be somewhere. Ted Cruz. I kind of exaggerated his mullet, but I couldn't help myself. Speaks for itself. If you don't know what a self-licking ice cream cone is, then you need to look it up. And my dogs make it to my sketches quite a bit because I like them. They're fun to draw. I've been on this kick of being people stuck in the 80s because I grew up in the 80s, the 70s and 80s. So you see us old guys with, you know, hairstyles like that still wearing their rock band shirts and stuff. These cats are for an idea that I had, and I'm not sure if I'm going to follow through with the idea because I'm not quite sure I like it. But, you know, that's okay because I actually like these drawings quite a bit. They're fun to do. And one thing I didn't realize about Tabby Cats, I love Tabby Cats. They're like really cool. But I didn't realize that the markings on their face, more often than not, will have the pattern of an M, like a letter M. And I didn't know that until I read that just recently. More Tabby Cats. I feel like I could draw a tabby cat from my imagination now pretty well. There's lots of varieties too, though. I like that. Some TV watching. Sometimes I like to watch TV and then just draw whoever's on TV. So this was the newscasters, and just kind of fun to do. More newscasters. Not a newscaster, but I think that would be cool if he was. He's just a guy I made up. And then the last 4 drawings I finished up with old guy faces. It's always the last few pages in the sketchbook that I feel like, I don't know, I kind of get like a stumbling block or something, like a creative block with the last few pages of a sketchbook. And so I just thought, well, I'm just going to do old guy faces because that's my go-to. And so that's the last one right there, I believe. Yeah, it is. Guy with a members only jacket. Again, being stuck in the 80s. I should do a bunch of pictures that are stuck in the 80s. I think that'd be funny. So that's it. That's my sketchbook from October of 2019 to March of 2021. It took me this long to finish this book. And partly because I've got all kinds of other art projects I'm doing. And I also have several other sketchbooks. I actually don't know how many other sketchbooks I have going on at the same time, but quite a few. So anyway, I always think it's a great accomplishment when I finish a sketchbook. So anyway, thanks for watching. Till next time, take care.